Imagine your Wi-Fi dies. Your phone's dead. There's no signal, no tower, no backup. Your only option is walking outside and yelling Greg's name until something happens.
Yo, Greg.
That's not a joke. For 190,000 years of human history, that was the plan. And somehow, it got worse before it got better. The very first messaging system was your voice. Range, terrible. Privacy, non-existent. And if Greg was more than 200 meters away, your message simply did not exist. Ancient Greeks actually had a solution for this. Relay runners, human beings whose entire job was to sprint a message from one person to another and try not to die before they got there. One of them ran 26 miles to deliver a single word, victory, after the Battle of Marathon, then collapsed and died. So technically, the first long-distance message was also a fatality. Range, still terrible. Cost, 1 human life. Read receipts, pending. Eventually, humans decided to stop dying and start smoking. Smoke signals, which is basically texting. But every message required a campfire, perfect weather, and vibes. In China, they used it along the Great Wall. 1 fire meant all clear. 2 fires meant enemy approaching, which is fine for basic alerts, but try sending, "Hey, are you free tonight? Also, don't bring Gary." The problem, rain, no signal. Wind, message remix. Enemy nearby. Congratulations, you just live-streamed your location. In 1794, a French engineer named Claude Chappe said, "Enough." He built a network of towers across France. Each one had giant wooden arms that could form letter shapes. Operators would copy the signal and pass it to the next tower. A message could travel 200 miles in 15 minutes. Napoleon used it to run an empire. This was the most advanced communication system in the world, and it was just guys with sticks waving at each other across hilltops. But the real heroes of communication history are the pigeons. At some point, a human looked at a bird and thought, "That guy seems reliable." And they were right. Carrier pigeons could fly hundreds of miles, navigate by magnetic fields, and deliver messages with terrifying accuracy. But the greatest pigeon in history was a bird named Cher Ami. World War I, 1918. Nearly 200 American soldiers were trapped behind enemy lines. They were being accidentally bombed by their own side. They had 1 pigeon left. Cher Ami took off. The Germans shot at her. She got hit. Shot through the chest. Lost a leg. Blinded in 1 eye. And she still delivered the message. Those 194 soldiers survived because a 1-legged, half-blind pigeon refused to quit. Your last delivered notification has never meant that much. Eventually, humans invented writing, and once you had writing, you had letters. And once you had letters, you had the postal system, which felt like magic until you saw the price. In the 1840s in Britain, sending a letter cost more than a day's wages for the average worker. The price wasn't based on what you wrote. It was based on distance and how many sheets of paper you used. People invented crossed writing, filling a page, then rotating it 90 degrees and writing over the same page again, just to save money. In 1840, Britain launched the penny post. 1 flat price, 1 penny, any letter, anywhere in the country. Within a year, mail volume quadrupled. Because it turns out, people have a lot to say when they're not being charged per word. Which brings us to the people who were charged per word. The telegraph was the internet of the 1800s. For the first time in history, a message could travel faster than a human being. Across a continent, in minutes. It was miraculous. Except it cost money per word, which meant every message had to be brutally efficient. Arrived safe. Stop. Send money. Stop. Very hungry. Stop. In 1865, a businessman famously sent a telegram from London to his New York office to check on a shipment. The reply came back in 4 words. All lost. Come immediately. The telegram cost him $3. The shipment cost him everything. Meanwhile, a competing businessman paid for 12 words. Same message, more context. Survived the loss, pivoted, made a fortune. The lesson: in 1865, being too cheap to send a long telegram could literally bankrupt you. We invented efficiency, and efficiency had a cost. Then came the telephone. No more beeping, no more waiting. Instant voice, instant connection, which was incredible. Until you realized early telephone networks had a feature called party lines, you didn't get your own private line. You shared one with your neighbors, all of them. You could pick up the phone to call your doctor and accidentally walk into someone else's argument about a cow. And the neighbors could listen to your call, intentionally. It was considered totally normal. Early telephone etiquette guides literally advised people, do not listen in on conversations that are not meant for you. Which means people were absolutely listening in on conversations not meant for them. Privacy, still zero, just with better audio. And then, finally, the internet. Email, instant messaging. For the first time in human history, you could send any message to anyone, anywhere on Earth, in under a second, for free. It was the single greatest leap in communication since, well, ever. And what did we do with it? We invented read receipts. We took a system that solved 200,000 years of human suffering, and we used it to watch someone read our message and not reply. In real time. The typing bubble appears. The typing bubble disappears. You stare at the screen. The bubble reappears. That's not communication. That's psychological warfare. We went from pigeons dying mid-flight to deliver a message, to being emotionally wrecked by 3 disappearing dots. We solved speed, we solved distance, we solved reliability, and we invented anxiety. 200,000 years, screaming across valleys, smoke in the wind, one-legged pigeons, letters that cost a week's wages, telegrams charged by the word, neighbors listening to your calls, all of it, to get here, where a message can reach the other side of the planet in milliseconds. And it still says, delivered, not read, just delivered. Somewhere right now, Cher Ami is spinning in her grave. She lost a leg for this. Drop a comment. What was the worst era? Because personally, I think the typing bubble disappearing is a war crime.